Yo, welcome everybody back to the JV Sports Room. As usual, your host, JDino, the other half of the team behind the scenes, my man Vince. Y'all know who it is in the corner over there, my man Big J.
Yep.
And we got a new starter in the lineup to the JV team. I'd like to welcome to the show my man Chris.
What's good, y'all?
Widely known tattoo artist. Want to tell us a little about yourself, Chris?
Yo, I'm a former athlete, man. I'm from Atlanta originally. Bounced back and forth between Atlanta and Florida. So I've played with a lot of athletes that have gone pro in several different sports.
Nice.
So I'm connected and I tattoo a lot of athletes, man.
Oh, so you've put a lot of work on some of these athletes.
Yeah, man.
Some of your favorite athletes have been worked on by my man Chris here.
Yeah, I'm out there a little bit.
Okay.
Nice,
So
nice.
originally from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. So that make you a Atlanta Falcons fan, or what's your squad, man?
By heart, man, I'm a Falcon fan, man. That's the home team. So, I mean, I have to kind of rock with the squad, or else I wouldn't be able to go back home. But, yeah, man, so I've been shying away, but I'm a Falcon.
Falcon at heart. But I mean, who you rooting for nowadays, though?
It's ironically, being in Florida has changed my view. I was sleeping on Tom Brady. I really thought that majority of his success came from Bill Belichick. And seeing him in Tampa Bay and seeing what he was able to do coming to Tampa Bay has really made me a Brady fan above anything else. But since then, I've been rocking with Tampa. I've been watching Tampa, and you know, I like what's going on in Tampa.
Okay. But Atlanta at heart. You get a chance to watch the Atlanta and New Orleans game this past weekend?
Yeah, man. I seen the game, and it was kind of heartbreaking. Same Falcons squad as it's been for the last few seasons. They get you up, high hopes. They're really fast-paced offense first half. They execute. They play a good game, and then as soon as you get your beers from the concession stand, hey, you're losing. So
Crumble mode, huh, Big J?
it's kind of heartbreaking.
Now, I mean, he mentioned, coming to Florida and seeing Tom Brady come to Florida has got him to believe in Tom Brady. So it wasn't the 28-3 comeback against the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl that did that, huh? Kind of similar to what these Falcons look like today, giving up the big lead.
It's true.
At that point, I still hated Brady. I credit that comeback to Bill Belichick.
Okay.
And the crumble of the Falcons. But
Right.
like I said, I credit to Bill Belichick.
You nailed it on the head. It's same Falcons crumbling, up big in the first half. Where they go in the second half.
Yeah. And it's because they seem to change their strategy every time. It's like they were running the ball in the first half. Cordero Patterson was having a huge game, and then all of a sudden in the second half they go away from the run, similar to like what they used to do back in the day with Julio, right?
Yeah, the Falcons have been on that game scheme for quite a while. It's like they deviate from what is working from them, and it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So the Falcons jump out to a big passing game in the first half, and they get a good lead. Second half, they're gonna run the ball. Dominantly run the ball.
That's what they used to do, right?
And lose leads. And same thing with the run. If they get off to a good running game in the first half, they deviate from it. And it kind of hurts the momentum of your athletes. You know, you can't get somebody going like that and you're working them and they're producing for you. And then you take it out. It don't work.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, who do you point to? I mean, I keep saying it's the same old Falcons. I mean, you change head coach, you go from Mike Smith to Dan Quinn. Now Arthur Smith comes in the fold. It's still the same team at the end of the day. Same situation at the end of games. Losing leads. Who do you point the finger at? Is it Arthur Blank? I mean, I know the personnel is not the ideal personnel right now. I mean, Marcus Mariota is not a starting quarterback in this league
No,
anymore.
not at all.
Yeah.
It's definitely an internal problem. Don't know exactly who to point the blame at this point.
Yeah, it's very hard to pinpoint it, but it shouldn't be the same. Even with changing personnel and changing coaches, you're going to have problems, but it shouldn't be the same consistent
Right.
problem. So it's hard to figure out why it's the same issue. It makes me think it is ownership or front office.
The culture of the team.
Exactly. Yeah, so I feel it lays on Arthur Blank at this point.
Yeah.
You can't put it on anyone else when you switch personnel and coaches.
I mean, there's still things to be excited about. We didn't really get to see the cow pitch we wanted to see in this game. He didn't really splash, but we did get to see the rookie phenom and Drake London made some noise, had 5 catches. So it could be same old Falcons, or we could be looking at these New Orleans Saints and we got Jarvis Landry involved with 7 catches, 114 yards. And then we saw the return of Slant Boy, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas back.
Come back with 2 touchdowns and look good doing it, man. So,
and it's crazy because I think it has to do with both, to be honest with you, because we've talked about how Jameis is a second half quarterback plenty of times before, right? Because he doesn't know how to find his players early in the game. But at the same time, we've talked about how Atlanta's always giving up leads.
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, I think the game went exactly how both these teams are used to playing. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be Jameis' best year, though. I feel it's going to be one of his best seasons. With the team he has around him and the time that they've had to actually gel and get it together and build a chemistry, I feel he's going to have a real breakout season.
Yeah,
but bright spot for Atlanta was also Cordell Patterson.
Cordell Patterson, man. He's been doing it. He's been doing it, getting it done for a couple of years now for him. But you also mentioned the other team in that division, Tampa, and how you found yourself rooting for Tom Brady and the BUCS. You were rooting for them on Sunday night when they were beating up on Dallas?
Absolutely. I mean, who likes Dallas?
Thank you, Tampa.
But I have Tampa Bay as winning Super Bowl this season. Honestly, I feel that the addition of Julio Jones gave Tom Brady another weapon. And as I said earlier, I don't feel that they need an electrifying Julio. They just need an efficient Julio. And Julio is in shape, and he played very well. And Tom Brady, he's moving good. Like, Tom Brady, to be 45 years old,
right,
and to be playing in the NFL with NFL speed. Now, he was never a mobile quarterback. Nobody expects Tom Brady to break out and run for 20, 30 yards. But the mobility that he has at his age in the pocket is phenomenal,
for sure.
Man. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, the BUCS did just enough. I mean, we saw a team take advantage of a lesser team in the Cowboys. I've been saying it all offseason. This is not a great Cowboys team. And they just did enough, 19-3. But what they do, hand the ball off, let him Fournette run all over that defense.
He did.
It was the Fournette show. Big play from Julio Jones. But like you said, just be efficient. He doesn't need to be 2007 Julio Jones.
That's what we're getting.
Just be consistent. Be a big body down the field. For now he may be more involved because we saw Chris Godwin limp off the field. That's not what you want to see for somebody coming back from an ACL tear. So
yeah, there was a couple injuries in that game. Obviously, Chris Godwin got hurt for Tampa, but then looks like Dak is hurt too now. Leaving that game, hurt hand, looking like 6 to 8 weeks. They're talking about
possibly. I mean, Jerry Jones is looking at the optimistic side of it, and could be 4. He says he's not going to put him on the IR. So, man, it could be 4, but it's probably 6 to 8. It's probably the most realistic timeline.
I mean, what does this do to Dallas?
Honestly, this is probably Jerry Jones' excuse for Dallas' season. Because I feel even with Dak Prescott, I don't see Dallas making much noise. Yeah. Zeke is pretty much washed.
Yep.
The offensive line is struggling right now. So I don't see Dallas making the playoffs, a wild card team at best. Yep. And who they're going to beat to get in. Yep. So I think it's really an excuse. It gives Dak time to work on what he has to work on, and Jerry Jones opportunity to make some personnel decisions.
Yeah, I said in past shows, man, the Cowboys missed their window. I mean, their window was a year or 2 ago, and now the team's getting older. I mentioned the offensive line's getting older, and look, Tyron Smith goes down. They're losing offensive linemen left and right. They're bringing in formerly known as the bodyguard, Jason Peters, now known as the crossing guard. They're trying whatever they can, but now Dak goes down. Is it Cooper Rush? Do they bring somebody in off the street?
Do they trade for Jimmy G?
I mean, it's Dallas. Jerry Jones is going to do something splashy. You have to think. I don't know if it's enough. Even when Dak was healthy in the game, there was nothing happening. The wide receiver core is young. Is CeeDee Lamb a number 1? I think he could be, but he hasn't shown me enough.
No, not yet. Not yet.
It's going to be a rocky road for these Cowboys, man. And I don't feel bad about it.
Hey, us G-men ain't mad. We're looking forward to that game now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Big Blue, baby. But, I mean, who do they bring in at quarterback now? I mean, there was even some talk about RG3, right?
Yeah, RG3 made a couple jokes, man. Monday Night Countdown, saying Jerry Jones called him. But I don't think it's anybody they can bring in that's going to change what they have going on in Dallas. It's more than just a quarterback.
Thank you. So
I say rebuild. Like, it's at the point where they're going to have to really consider just rebuilding and starting over and, trying to build culture. Jerry Jones is old and he doesn't want to do that because he's trying to sit on the Super Bowl in his tenure, but facts, you rebuild.
Yep.
Agreed, sir. Agreed. We mentioned the injuries, right? So there was a few other key injuries that went on in the NFL this weekend. Talk about TJ Watt going down in Pittsburgh. Yeah. That's tough, man, because he was having a great game, right?
Yeah, TJ's phenomenal, man. Even still to this day, I mean, he's like his brother out there, man. They're wreaking havoc. So that's a real big piece to lose.
Huge. I mean, that game, you mentioned they won the game. The Steelers won the game, but Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner TJ Watt, man, it's a big loss. It's a big loss. They're saying torn pec. It could be a season ender, but now there's optimistic. Tough. There's an optimistic side that maybe it's not as bad as first thought, and maybe he could be back mid to late season. A torn pec is a tough, injury to come back from.
Given it for a lineman trying to push up against other big linemen,
arms and
it's hard emotion, yeah.
And the bright side, the Steelers did end up winning the game, just barely holding on.
Yeah.
I mean, kickers. Hey guys, you're in the league to do one thing.
You got one job.
To make field goals, man. That's all you got to do is just kick the ball in the uprights when it's time, when your number's called. And this game going back and forth, kickers missing, miss. For the Steelers defense, this is a big loss, but I do think they can, still be consistent enough without TJ to scrape together some more wins.
It's going to be tough. I mean, obviously they lean on their defense right now with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback.
Right.
So it's going to be tough. I mean, so really was this a Steelers win or a Cincy loss at this point in time in this game? I mean, what'd you call it?
I think it's a Cincy loss. The game was too close and too competitive realistically, Joe Burrow had 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
He threw 4 picks and had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, that's tough.
The game should have never been within arm's reach, in my opinion, to begin with. So for it to be that close, I think Cincy lost the game more than Pittsburgh won the game. And I think you're going to see more of that throughout the season, especially with this injury that they're facing now, because I don't see their defense getting enough stops and Trubisky scoring enough points.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because all offseason, I've spoken on it. I know we've had Chris Stokes, who's a big Cincinnati Bengals fan, speak on it. The Cincinnati offensive line was supposed to be upgraded, I thought. And
it didn't look good.
It didn't look upgraded to me.
At all.
Burrow was running for his life.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the T. Higgins concussion, him leaving the game, kind of like messed things up and
threw everything out of whack, man.
Joe Burrow didn't.
All I know is, Stokes, get your Bengals together, man. They didn't look good this first game, man. Speaking of injuries, Elijah Mitchell goes down for the 49ers. Let's talk about that game a little bit. Niners and the Bears. Jay Money was at the house with his brother. He's a Bears fan, and I know he's not going to hear the end of it.
That game is pretty interesting to me. The weather, plays a factor, but 49ers don't look impressive. You have Trey Lance leading your team in rushing. Where's Deebo Samuel? I mean, you're looking at he only averaged maybe, 5.1 yards per pass. So, there was really no offensive efficiency on that end. Justin Fields wasn't too great himself. I mean, he had 121 yards with 1 pass alone going for 51. So, those numbers are definitely not impressive.
Not at all.
But he plays with a lot of heart. Yeah. He's similar to, he's definitely more skilled, but he's similar, in my opinion, to a Tim Tebow. Like, he plays with a lot of heart, and he has the ability to win necessary games. So if you get him in a situation where it's close and you let him take off, he can make something happen.
I think this is a big game for the psyche for the Chicago Bears, for Justin Fields in general. Just beating a team who was minutes away from playing in the Super Bowl with 49ers. Beating a team at home in a monsoon. Let's be real. Like, that was unreal playing conditions. Players slipping and sliding. Who knows what the ball felt like. I agree, though. The 49ers didn't look good, and it's even more magnified with you got a $20 million quarterback that's sitting on the bench who got your team minutes away from playing in the Super Bowl. I don't know. If you're the 49ers, you better put it to reps next week. Yeah. Trey Lance needs to have a big game.
For real.
Because the birds are going to start chirping pretty soon.
Yeah, you got to do like my man Shirt say, think big, do big, win big.
Right.
It's a mentality. But yeah, the Bears win that one in a slushy slugfest. Elijah Mitchell going down early probably didn't help. Obviously, that's the reason that Trey Lance also led in rushing, because their starting running back was down early. A couple other injuries that we got to watch out for this week. Keenan Allen goes down, and we also mentioned Chris Godwin, both hamstrings.
Yep.
So probably, 3 to 4 weeks looking at for them.
Hamstrings, you never know, man. Yeah.
We also have Mac Jones day-to-day with a back injury that he sustained in the game with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's big for the Patriots. And obviously, these guys have already told us, these Patriots fans, that offensive line is nothing to look forward to this season. And Mac being down, it attests to that.
Could be a long season for Mac.
Yeah, for real. But speaking of somebody in that division, that actually played well this week, those Buffalo Bills. That boy Josh Allen is electric, ain't he?
Guys, I think we officially have seen Josh Allen into that upper tier, that upper echelon of quarterbacks. When you talk about the Bradys, the Rodgers, the Mannings, the Breezes, I mean, these guys take their teams and they just manipulate and they do. And we saw it, feels like it was 3 months ago. Well, it was Thursday night. Josh Allen has taken that next step and he's entered that realm of quarterback. What I saw him do, picking apart that defense and using all his weapons, he's amazing, man. He's amazing.
I kind of think Josh Allen came in that tier. I think it's now just being confirmed.
Okay.
I think Josh Allen played at a high level from day one, and he came in as a poised quarterback, and he just proved himself. We're just now accepting it.
Right.
It takes time for us to be able to give you that trophy, but
there was too much critique on him at first, I think.
But,
everybody was talking about how he wanted to run too much and stuff like that. Find reasons to pick at his game when in reality, he was just molding himself into what he is now. And I like that, man. Those comparisons to those big name quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You saw it. He literally was picking that defense apart, right?
Right.
And the Super Bowl winning champs defense at that, So, that says a lot. That says a lot about this first game going into this season, man.
For sure.
Yeah, and it was an easy win.
It wasn't so easy for, their rookie running back, unfortunately, James Cook.
I really expected James to have a bigger come-out game. It was kind of sad. 1 carry for 2 yards and a fumble. And they just completely went away from him. I don't know if he was being punished for the fumble.
Yeah.
The bright side of it is that he's not the only running back that fumbled in that game. So, they got to get back to practice and get to the drawing board. And, in my eyes, it's even, and give him a fair shot. But I feel that they got to be smart about how they utilize James.
Right.
You drafted James because was the best back coming out of the backfield in college catching the ball.
Electrifying, yep.
And you got to put him out there and allow him to be himself and get his comfort zone. And I think once you allow him to do that and James gets going, he'll be able to come out that backfield, right?
Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Le'Veon Bell, Ray Rice, and Kareem Hunt. James Cook joins these running backs as running backs who have fumbled their first career game in the NFL. Kareem Hunt he fumbled his first carry in the NFL. So brighter days ahead for James Cook.
Absolutely.
For me. I wouldn't be down in the dumps too much if I'm James. And, I think I still have high hopes for him for the rest of the season.
Almost definitely.
Because, believe it or not, yes, Devin Singletary looked good, but didn't really do anything eye-popping. Zach Moss was plotting around the field. He was carried by his catches. I still think James, given the opportunity, can take a hold of that number one running back spot for the Bills.
Definitely.
No, I agree 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping for James' sake that he's not in the doghouse too long. He spent the rest of the game on the bench, and that sucks because I feel like they should have gave him another opportunity that first game. It's first carry of his career, man. Right. So you got to get the man back out there. So I think the quicker the Buffalo Bills do get him back on the field, the quicker they have another dynamic piece that they can add to that offense. That's what they got to do is they got to get James on the field. He's electric.
With rookies, it's proven in practice. And James is a workhorse. So as long as he gets in there, after that fumble, he gets out of his head and he goes in there and does what he needs to do in practice and you gain that coach trust, he'll be back out there. And he will get that number one spot.
Okay. Oh, you say that like that's confirmation?
Oh, man, James going to get that. Before the season is out, James Cook, given the opportunity, will earn the number one spot.
Okay. You saying that like him from a personal perspective?
Oh, yeah, man. James is my little partner. I tapped James. So I tattooed him, man. So he's one of my clients. I followed him since he was at Georgia. And I know for a fact, man, he's going to do what he got to do.
Yeah. James is the dog. We're big fans of James on this show.
James, if you're watching, we believe in you, brother.
Facts.
Yeah, man, we got to get you in here on the call, too, one of these days, Jay.
Yeah, we definitely got to get James in on the show, man. You mentioned Josh Allen and how he had a huge game, right? He was one of our big performers of the week, right?
Yes, sir.
Who else we have this week that had huge games? I know Patty Mahomes had 5 touchdowns.
But Pat Mahomes, man, I think he's kind of, there was some doubters in the offseason that, Tyreek Hill's gone and this and that. And I think he put the league on notice, like, Tyreek Hill or not, I'm still Patrick Mahomes, and I could do it with or without. So 5 touchdowns for Patty. I mean, picking apart defenses left and right. Carson Wentz, believe it or not, man, huge Commanders debut.
Boy, Jahan Dotson, 2 touchdowns, right? 2 touchdowns. Rookie Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. No, he put the league on notice as well, Jahan. So
love it.
Big performance there. Going to the running back position, DeAndre Swift stepping up 144 yards and a touchdown against the Eagles.
G-Men, Saquon Barkley coming up huge.
Yep. Saquon Barkley, welcome back. Welcome back. This is what we want to see. And the Giants are going to need it, That was a big win for the Giants.
Big win against, division-leading Tennessee Titans, man. Looking forward to it. And obviously, you guys mentioned that Dallas is without Dak Prescott. So, brighter days are ahead for us G-men.
For sure. Jonathan Taylor had a big week in the game that ended up in a tie, but hey, who knows?
Seems like we getting one of those at the beginning of every season nowadays.
Right. Man. It's more frequent now.
Yeah. Going to the wide receiver position. I mean, I said it here last week, and I'll continue to say it. There's still more to see from Justin Jefferson.
Oh, my goodness.
The ceiling has been elevated even higher. 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, but it makes sense because they got the new offensive coordinator in there. He's a pass first. I mean, we saw this coming. And, we didn't know he'd be able to do it so quickly.
He declared it himself. You guys got to listen.
That's a fact. Another one that obviously we know he did it in the Super Bowl. He just continues on with his great play is Cooper Kupp having a huge game on Thursday night.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is Harry Potter, man, because he has an invisibility cloak.
Yes.
When he's out there, man, defense does not see Cooper Kupp.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Number one option in that offense, and you don't see him.
It's mind-boggling that he's just always open. He's just literally always open. Speaking of always open, A.J. Brown, big Eagles debut, 10 catches, 155 yards.
I mean, he was the only one open. They didn't even look at Devontae Smith.
At all. And rising star, I've said his name in the past. I'll continue to say it. Rising star Michael Pittman, 9 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
And don't forget about the man that we talked about all last season, Jamar Chase. Another big week, right?
Yeah, 10 catches and a comeback loss, but, I mean, they came back. 10 catches, 129 yards. I mean, the kid is electric.
Yeah.
He may lead the league in receiving yards. It's mind-boggling. These young wide receivers in the league and how they just come into the league just ready to go off the bat. It used to be the old saying is, it takes a couple years for wide receivers to get acclimated to the league, but now these kids are coming in and taking the league by storm.
I mean, the wide receiver is a star position in college football.
Right? It is.
So, I mean, they're featured far more. So those guys come in, I think, more developed in a lot of other positions besides quarterback.
Yeah.
You got anybody that you tap maybe that might be coming into the league from the wide receiver position?
Yeah, man. I got a couple current college stars that I have as clients. We have Christian Leary. And,
Bama boy.
We're definitely working on getting Christian Leary on the show. Definitely a local boy at Edgewater High School.
Yes, sir.
Playing at Alabama.
4-star recruit.
Yeah, exactly, man. Man, it's a great wide receiver. He's on the special teams as well, so he's doing punt returns and everything, man. Shout out to Christian.
Love it.
So we'll definitely try to get Christian on here.
Big win, by the way, this past week against Texas. That was a couple of sketchy calls there. A couple sketchy calls there, but big win nonetheless.
Yeah, big win.
Scary win.
Not impressive, but it was a big win to pull out. We also got Devon Wilson, UCF.
Oh, safety.
Yeah, safety. Transferred from Georgia, played cornerback. But, they bulked him up a little here in Florida. Usually, I don't know what they did to him, but now he's playing safety, man.
Okay.
Yeah. He's out here making some noise. We're working on him. And Brenton Cox as well. We got the linebacker over at Florida. I think they actually moved him to defensive end. I think
we're going to bring a Gator in here. We definitely love Gators. Yeah, guys, if you want to come on the show, definitely reach out to SportJV1 on Instagram or have Chris hit me up. He knows how to get in touch with me. Yeah, but we had a real entertaining first week. But looking into week 2, though, I know one big game that actually tonight, Chiefs and the Chargers. That's going to be huge.
Division rivals.
Yep. Division rivals. No Keenan Allen, I'm sure, though, because,
Short week.
So probably not going to see Keenan Allen. Look out for Josh Palmer this week, fantasy sleeper.
Definitely. We're going to see what Mahomes does week 2
Yeah.
without Cheetah.
It's a big week. Big week for both teams, for that matter, because you got both quarterbacks looking really good right now, dealing with some adversity with the Keenan Allen, injury and the Tyreek Hill missing him. So let's see what the next week looks like for Mahomes. But they look good. Juju, well, I know he's banged up as well, but he shouldn't miss tonight. Big game early in the season, division rivals. Let's see what happens.
I mean, now that you made it seem like such a big game, you got to tell me who you guys got.
I'm all in on the Chiefs, man. I'm all in.
I mean, after that week 1 performance, man, you cannot not go Chiefs in this game.
Yeah, that's a clean sweep, man. Chiefs here too.
Another big game to look out for week 2 is going to be Tampa Bay versus the New Orleans Saints. And that'll be a
division game.
Definitely. It's interesting to see how Jameis Winston is going to respond after that first game win, which is a big win for him. And then, you got Tom Brady. Now, the thing about it is in New Orleans, so you know how that crowds get, so.
Yes, sir. And if there's a team that has Tom Brady's number, it is these New Orleans Saints.
We talked about it. They actually beat them 3 out of 4 games in the last 2 regular seasons. So they definitely got their number, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the offense evolves. We saw last week, they just did enough. They gave the ball to Leonard Fournette and they, got him 19 points and they won the game. But let's see the offense evolve with or without Chris Godwin. I'm assuming without. And let's see the addition of Julio Jones take that next step and the evolution of that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. In New Orleans, though. In New Orleans. So who you guys got?
In New Orleans, I'm still going Tampa Bay. I believe the weapons around Tom Brady is going to be too much. And Julio is a big body to have a deep ball threat. So it's going to be a real good game. But the way Fournette ran, and I don't see them losing this game, even in New Orleans.
Shouts out to my boy Leonard. But I got to take the Saints, man. I got to take the Saints for the simple fact that it's Jameis as well, man. This Jameis' former team, so he's going to come in with a little edge on him as well. We saw the return of slant boy Michael Thomas. Chris Olave is going to make some more splash plays as the season progresses. In New Orleans, who that?
Yo, I it's crazy as it sounds. I got to agree with you, man.
Ooh.
I don't ever bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Regular season, New Orleans got his number, man. I'm going New Orleans too.
I don't know, man.
I'm going New Orleans too.
Y'all sleeping on Tampa Bay, man. I think first game, Tampa Bay did what worked.
Right.
So they played very conservative and they stuck to what was working, unlike the Atlanta Falcons. So I think that when they get to New Orleans, you're going to see Tom Brady open up and it's going to be a much different game. And I don't know, man. It might be too much.
I can see it.
And in the week 2 main event, Monday Night Football, we have the Minnesota Vikings going to the Link in Philadelphia, taking on the Dirty Birds, the Philadelphia Eagles, Monday night. It's going to be a battle. This is a true test for the Eagles and for the Vikings, for that matter. The Vikings did beat a decent, we didn't really touch on it, but a Packers team. So let's see if this is legit. Are these the legit Vikings? And is the Eagles team legit?
I think the Vikings are legit. I think the Vikings legitimately had Aaron Rodgers flustered. Aaron Rodgers played a piss poor game for his caliber quarterback, by all means. And it was attributed to the Minnesota Vikings. And not only that, their offense is pretty electrifying, man. They got James Big Brother out there running that thing. I mean,
I agree.
They're really good, man.
I agree 100%. I would say this, though. Aaron Rodgers was out his starting left and right tackle that game. And Philadelphia brings up the best offensive line in the NFL. But I do agree, it's going to be a battle. Dalvin is an electrifying running back, one of the best in the league. But this Eagle team, yes, we got smacked around a little bit on this past Sunday by the Lions, who I do believe in. These are not the same Lions. But, hey, Monday Night Football, blackout jerseys. We going Bird game. Don't even need to ask me.
Look,
Eagles.
you already know, as a Giants fan, I got to do everything I can to go against these. No, I'm just playing. No, but seriously, though, didn't like the way the Eagles almost let those Lions back in the game. Minnesota's even more high-powered than those Lions are.
Right.
If Philly can't quite shut out the Lions, I'm scared. I'm scared of what Minnesota's high-powered offense can do. Okay. I'm going Minnesota.
Let's go.
I'm going Minnesota Monday night. I did say that I had Green Bay winning that division, but that was a huge game this past weekend between Minnesota and Green Bay. It's going to be tough for Green Bay. Minnesota's tough right now. I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota Monday night. Who you guys got Monday night?
I'm Minnesota, man. I believe Minnesota's going to pull it out there. I mean, they're strong on the ground. They're strong in the air. I mean, they're a problem.
Hey, we keeping receipts. Bird game.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's all the time we got for today, man. Tattoo artist, right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
constantly putting pressure on people. Can we? There you go, from the JV team, man. I'd like to welcome you to the JV team. It's our new constant pressure shirt. Part of our new line, of our new line of JV merch. Man, appreciate you joining the show, Chris. Man, why don't you let these people know how they can contact you, man? How they can find
you guys can contact me. You can find me on BUCS, which is exclusiveart.booksy.com. Man, my portfolio is posted as well as my pricing schedule. You guys can go ahead and find me online and set an appointment. I'm located in the Cottage Park area, Orlando, Florida. Look forward to getting your business.
Big body boy, appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Back at it.
And thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the new merch, you could check us out at sportjv.com. Got the new line of merch. You could follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you mash that button on YouTube. And obviously, we got a quote from you guys from Josh Allen. If you didn't want to believe in me, that's okay. I'll make a believer out of you. Thank you guys for watching.